Hello and welcome back. In this tutorial, we'll look about how to save and load data from the data system of Minecraft. First of all, we'll start with the simple save data, which can just access any entities or item stacks, persistent data, and for that let's go there. And to access like item stacks data, I'm just gonna do good. First of all, I'm going to create a dummy class. Yay. To access, make it a little bit more simple. To access persistent data of an item stack, you do compound tag. That's like a map between string to object, or tag actually. Compound tag stack get tag. There are two methods here, not only get tag, also get or create tag. The difference is that the tag may be null, so you need to, if you want to make sure the tag is not null, you have to get or create tag. And get or create tag element is like get or create tag, and we'll get to this in a few seconds. We are going to go with get no. We're going to go with get tag. Yes. Next, this tag may be null. Should be, yeah, may be null. It's nullable. So you have to, every time you use this, instead of stack.get or create tag, you have to use if tag is not null. And then you can do whatever you want. Next, how to save and load data from the stack. For the most part, it's pretty simple. You just, if you want to have load an integer, then you go like amount, you go like this tag get int, and like this is capable for any tag type. Like if you go to tag, this one, net.minecraft.npt, you can see all this, and that's all the different tag types you can implement. So for all of these, except of the end tag, because that's just like a null tag, you can get the information. Like let's say we wanna read a byte array, like tag.get byte array, nice, and then you can have a string that's the like key. So if you save it, you wanna save it under name, in this case amount, which will not work because of it's a byte array and we had asked it for an int. Nice. This is like the simplest way to get informations from an item stack. You can also get a simple tag by calling tag.get either compound or get. Compound just is a way of getting a compound tag and not only a tag, because you can do more with compound tags than just normal tags, because tags are just implementations. And you can also get lists, tag types we'll be covering a little bit later. Right. Saving data to the items, data. It's like nearly the same as loading it. You just do tag.put and then the data type you want to put in. In this case, we're going to go with int because we already did. Then we go with amount. The input method and the output method should always match the same string. Normally you would do like an constant or like this. Like this. No. Parametric string amount tag ID. You can call this whatever you want. but like make sure it makes sense. And then you add this here. And after the put method, you are not only putting one argument, the tag ID, but also the value you want to put in. So in this case, it would be amount. Nice. That's covered the item stack data. Now we're moving on to entity of world entity. And we have to call this entity. You can get the tag in this case with using entity.getPersistentData, which will not be null because entities always have data. The same is for block entities, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, nice. With accessing data of levels, which we'll handle now, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to use the. Let me just yoink some code from my old project. You have to, like, if you want to access them, must be stack. Well, you've got a client and a server side. Save the data in this case is always server side because levels and like the world is always saved server side. So on joining, you have to sync the information you load on the server, like with the server save data. If you want to access this data on the client, you need to sync it to the client. So like if you want this data on the client, make an private static player counter, and you call it client instance. You don't need to call it client instance, but I would recommend calling it client instance because that makes it pretty obvious. And then you go public player counter, get counter, and then you need to have a level access because otherwise it won't work because you can't really see if it's client or server side. And then you go if level dot is client side, return client instance. Nice. And otherwise, you can cast it to a server level because it must be, if it's not client side, it has to be server side, obviously. Level, nice. And then you can access server level dot get data storage dot return dot get data storage dot put if compute no what the heck? Okay, dot compute if absent factory. What's a factory? That's something new because, well, public static record factory. That's 1.20 stuff. What? No. Data fixed types. That's new. I don't. Player chunk hotbar option structure stats save data commands. What is that? Okay, let's just look at this. Where is it used? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Codecs. Now we'll cover them in a few seconds, but what is going on here? Supplier, constructor, function, deserializer, and data fixed types type. Oh well. New factory. That's gonna I'm gonna cry. Compute if absent. What do we string? Okay. This string should be like the ID. Like we will call it player counter. Nice. And here you have to add a supplier constructor, and that will be player counter new. If you have methods inside, like, where we don't have an public We don't have a constructor. If you have a constructor that takes any arguments, this will not work because suppliers don't give supply any arguments. You'll have to make either lambda or use create a method like create default instance or something, which will always be called no return no oh Jesus player counter turn new player counter. If you have arguments, you would add them like in here now, but we don't have, so we don't care. Next, you need an deserializer. We're going to private static player counter load, and then we're going to take compound tag. This is the method that loads the player counter on world load up. In this case, we're going to use player counter load and string. No, stop. Then we have a data fixed types player. I don't know what that does. Is this player data storage? Oh Jesus Christ! What the hell? I don't know. No. Player data storage. What the heck? I don't know what that is. I'll be looking at this not now. Anyways, we're going to take this because we can. And then we have all of this set up. So I'll have to no. Anyways, in this case we're going to this player count will only have one private integer field counter, and this counter will be saved to the count. We're gonna call this tag because it sounds boring otherwise. Tag dot put int counter. Don't forget to make this constant. Counter tag ID equal to counter. I forgot the string. And then you can put dice in here. Next up, loading data. Player counter is equal to new player counter. Nice. And then counter is tag get int counter tag ID. Nice. That's, and then we just return the counter. You can use any kind of you can do whatever you want in here as any kind of data, but then you'll have to make a package to sync the client instance. I did that in my other mod. It's very much code, extremely much code. You don't want to look at it, you can. I'm going to link my repository with the most important classes in this regard in the description. Where were we? Okay, now you can use the get counter method. You need a level to get the player counter. You can create getters or setters to change data, access them and remove them and all that nice stuff. Next of all, we're going to continue with the most, in my opinion, most brilliant code regarding safe data Minecraft has created. Codec explanation. Why am I doing real names of these classes? Explanations. That's probably wrong. Yep, thought so. Oh. No. Okay. We're gonna remove that A, and there we go. Nice. codecs of like codecs are a simple way of transferring data between safe data, in this case also JSON, which we'll probably cover in a few minutes, and NBT data. You could also make your own data type, like safe data type, but why would you? Like you got your, like there is already, you have already this like NBT and JSON. Why would you use any more? And you can call it whatever you want anyway, so which we'll see in a few seconds anyways. What do we want to save? First of all, there is no this is, you can like copy this if you don't have, if you need it. The codec, the primitive codec, the UID codecs, like the codec for UID is not provided yet, so you just do like this nice stuff, very nice. And yes, obfuscate input map UID from tada. This is literally all you need. You could also like get byte or byte buffer. No, okay, we're going to use string. Anyhow, now you can like make private final int a, private final string b, private final UID c, and private. You can, the good point about this is Minecraft provides a lot of codecs for the most literally every registry, which we'll be covering someday. Item, I'll be covering anyways. You can also save items this way. Item D. Let's save all of these data to the codec. First of all, you need some, like you could use lambda, but lambda, okay, well, we're going to codec explanations. We're going to, like, this is a codec of this class, so it's going to provide this codec, private static final codec is equal to record codec builder. You want record codec builder. You want to, like, you mostly want to use this. Only the only time you don't want to use this is if you got an enum. We're going to call it data type, because I don't implements string representable. Thank you. Is that still usable? I hope so. Anyhow, we need to implement get serialized name, and therefore we need like this is how you save. Yeah, thank you. This is how you save enums in codecs. You just add get serialized name, and then you do JSON is equal to JSON, and NBT is equal to NBT. Then we're going to add network is equal to friendly byte buff. And we're going to add down scores. That sounds stupid. Anyhow, and in that case, if you have string representable implemented, you can make, or like more probably public static final codec, enum codec. It's like marked, but you don't care. of data type is equal codec is equal to string representable dot from enum, then data type colon values. That's all you need, and then you have a codec. It's going to be deprecated, but they didn't change it yet. Maybe they're going to do this in any future version, and going to add a private final data type for fancies. E. Nice. Nice. And record codec dot what create. Thank you. And then you have a codec explanation instance. The name of this does literally not matter as long as this is the same as this, and you don't need this. But you should start with a new line and dot group. No, let's go. In this group, you want to add all the data you want to load and save. We are starting with an integer, so codec.int integer int nice dot field of, and this you're going to call a dot forgetter instance dot a comma codec dot string. It's kind of laggy right now. I don't know why. B. It's not gonna know what you're trying to do yet, but trust me, it will work as soon as we're done. Codec dot no UUID codec dot field, no, not optional field of, but field of. We have to move this up. Field of C forgetter E or C. Now we've got a saved data like a registry element here, and so we're going to go build in, or maybe we can also do like forge registries dot item dot get codec dot field of, and then we're going to call this D, and dot forgetter e dot D, and then last but not least, data type dot codec dot field of e dot forgetter I dot e. And the last part you have to do is apply, and then the codec explanation instance and codec explanations colon new, because like all of you now need a method that takes an integer, a string, a UUID, an UUID, an item, and a data type, and make a codec explanation out of this. And that's exactly what we got here. So this is a simple way of, like, well, the usage of this is a little bit more complicated. Codec.encode starts, I'm not mistaking, and in this case the dynamic ops is either JSON if you got a JSON element here, or nbt ops dot instance, no, help me, instance if you got a tag. What do you want to do? A input is tag. Does that work? No, it does not. Who would have thought? Input, oh wait, oh no, we have to do parse. I'm sorry. nbt ops dot instance and then tag, and this gives us an data result. Return codec.parse dot result.get. This is going to cry. Oh well, because it's going to, yeah, because it throws get nullable, or else. You just use or else, like then just null. Like this will try to get an codec explanation out of this tag. So it's going to search for a field called A, B, C, D, and E, corresponding to each of these different types. And if it successfully manages to do that, the result will be an codec explanation, and then the or else will get the value. But if it fails at any point, the other will be just null and it will just return null. You can also result dot. Anyways, to save it, private compounding save, you're going to use codec return codec dot parse in this case. No, stop. We did parse, or encode start is the right one. And because we're saving to a tag, we're going to use the nbt ops. Otherwise, you would use the JSON ops, instance, or you can also use that compressed. There's a little bit like different, but mostly you want to use instance. Anyways, we're going to use the nbt ops.instance together with this, and then we got data result of and tag. Oh well, we need to use tag because it's going to cry otherwise. Anyhow, we're going to do the same stuff as before, result or else null. Could also do or else get, and then just compound tag new if you just want to save an empty compound tag, but I would just do that. And if you use this anywhere, make sure to null check it and only save it if the tag is not null, because if it's null, it just did not save for whatever reason. Where were we? Codecs. Nice. Now we wanna like save this information to the client, and no, we just want to save stuff. All right. So in this case, we're going to save it client side because that's much easier. We're going to save it like public void save to data. Now the part where you can save to files will be going. Files. A simple file you can get at java.io, and this is equal, like this file is equal to new file, and I'm going to go Minecraft, no, not Minecraft, Minecraft.get instance.game directory. That's like the game directory. It normally returns a dot, literally just a dot, and then you can put a string as child, and we're got like this would be the run folder, and in this case we're going to add tutorial slash wait, do I have the backslash? No, I don't. Slash codec explanation.json. The suffix is irrelevant. I hope I spelled that right. And you can call this whatever you want, because the file doesn't care how it's called. It just cares what it's inside of it. Okay, now we've got a file. We've got the file to save to, but we don't have a way to save data yet. So I'm actually going to make this file private static final, because we can exit it. Exit it way easier. Um, in this case, we must make sure that the tutorial directory is created before we can save and file. Therefore, we're going to do data.getParent file dot make directories or make dirs. What are you? Why are you? So, yeah, ignore that. Literally ignore that. So you have to do parent file, because otherwise it will make a directory called codec and you don't want that. Next on the list, you want to make data.create new file. And this may throw an IO exception, so you have to add that, or you could like try catch it. Try catch IO exception E. And you just logger tutorial mod.logger. What the heck? Is it private? Yeah, what who did that? Dot logger dot one failed to load file colon and E dot get message. Nice. Now we can remove this. Not we can't, but well, can we ignored result? No, results ignored. Also no. Nah. Okay. Wait, can I ask? Tell it to like ignore me. Disable inspection. Yes. There we go. Create new file. So if the file did not yet exist in the first run, it will not be. It will create a new file called codec explanation.json inside the tutorial directory. Now we can save data to it, but we need something called a writer for this. In this case, we want a file writer. And the file writer we want to have is a new file writer, and we just add data to it. What the hell? Data. What do you mean? Enter. Why? Anyhow, new file writer. Now we've got a writer. I don't really know what that does, but now we've got ability to write stuff. Next of all, we're going to make a little JSON, sorry, static final JSON is equal to JSON builder. Oh, new JSON builder. Set pretty printing create. And then if we want to save data, we're going to do write JSON to JSON. I have to make this. Oh wait, actually no, I don't. And to JSON, and then we have to do codec dot encode start JSON ops dot instance this dot result dot or else get JSON element new. Does that not work? Okay. JSON object new. Nice. Now we're going to write the JSON the only reason we are using a JSON, not like a JSON writer, is because JSON has this neat function of pretty printing, so it's not compressed in only one line, and it shows like real code. Yes, and we just use the codec to save this to data, and this has been written to the file. Next, what you need to do is either writer.flush or writer.close. Close, you cannot further access the writer. Flush, you can further access the writer, but this for some reason also closed. Anyhow, you need to close this or flush it, because otherwise this method will just be inside the writer, not written to the file. And yes, what we can do now is go into our mod and just crash the game on purpose. You should not do that. Disclaimer, you should not do this. It's just for tutorial reasons. Codec explanations is equal to new, codec explanations -2. Hell, subscribe, smiley face. UUID, that's going to cry, isn't it? Random UUID. No, it's not. Item is items.diamond, and data type is datatype.json. And now you can explanations.save, and then throw new illegal state exception on purpose. Smiley face. Oh, smiley face. Smiley face. Again. And then you can run it, and it should nearly instantly crash. Let's see. Let's see it crash on purpose. On purpose. Nice, that worked at least. Now I've got this run and the tutorial and the code explanation, and there we go. It wrote the C with the random UID, the Minecraft diamond, the JSON, the -2, and the subscribe, which you should do. No. Yeah. No. No. Next step. Is there a next step? I suppose there's not. Well, the point is we're done. Wow. Yes. But make sure you have, if you maybe you use config, like Forge uses configs.toml that files, probably with their own setup ID, and you want to probably make your own directory in the run folder, so you can save the data without interfering with any other mods. So make sure you have your own, either in the config if you want to not use the Forge integrated config, or in your own file if you have some very special data like my spill will be. Anyhow, that is it with this video. And the next one we'll be looking at events, how to use them, how to set them up, and how to actually create your own ones. Goodbye.